this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to continue my Oahu, Hawaii series and work on some more from the Luau, from the Hale Koa Resort. And this kind of moves more into the program that we did and or the program that we watched and enjoyed while we were there. Their style at the Hale Koa is a little more of kind of what I remember from when I was growing up, of kind of the old Hollywood style, the stuff that you saw like in the Elvis Presley movies and things like that that were along that era. That's what it reminded me of anyway. They do a lot of really wonderful music and a lot of beautiful dancing and explaining about the culture and where the different dances come from, and it was all very enjoyable and a lot of fun. We couldn't help comparing it to what we experienced at the Polynesian Cultural Center, only because we'd already experienced that. And they are a little bit similar, but they both have their place. So highly recommend that you attend a luau if you are going to visit Hawaii at some point in time. This layout's going to be a lot of fun, and you'll get to see a lot of fun photos and color combinations and things like that. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's get started and check out my workspace.
All right, so this is my workspace for today, and you may recognize this page as the last page that we did with Oahu. This is the removal of the pig from the pit for the luau that was done at the hotel that we stayed at the Hale Koa. And so the next layout that we're going to do is all about the show that was done at the luau and the food and that kind of stuff. So I have a lot of pictures that need to be put on these next two pages. You can see these are just some of them. There are also all of, hold on a second, hold your hats, all of these. Okay, so we have a lot of photos to do in this particular layout, and I just noticed I have the layout, the next layout also under there, which will be the fire dancers. So that one will be really fun to do. But this one is mainly just the start of the luau. So you can see the beautiful wahine right here with her flaming coconut pods. I think they had some kind of fluid in there that was burning, and so they held those and walked up to the stage and lit all the tiki torches and everything up there, which was cool. This gentleman right here did a lot of singing through the performance, and they had many costume changes, as you can see. Here's a couple more. And they went through the different styles of dance, similar to the Polynesian Cultural Center, where we learned all the different styles of Polynesian dancing. And they went through the different dances that were native to different areas. This was Hawaii, this was Tahiti, and this was Samoa, with the haka dance, which is not really a dance, but it's more of a chant and if you've seen a haka, you know you've seen a haka. It's really a cool experience and something that you don't easily forget. It's a war dance, so it's a little bit different than watching a hula or a Tahitian dance. At any rate, you can see in all these photos there is a lot of red and a lot of orange, especially on this page. And this is generally the way they're going to lay out. I think I may rearrange the photos on this page just a little bit because of the papers I'm going to use, but this is generally the way the photos are going to lay out. So let me show you the papers that I've chosen and kind of what we're going to do with them. Okay, so with this kind of layout in mind, and usually I will try to tailor my layout around the photos that are going to go on the page, and kind of have a sense of what I want to do with the photos before I choose paper, only because and especially with the papers that I have been using throughout this album, because there are some that are very beautiful and I don't want to cover them up, like this piece. So this you may recognize as the center of one of the more beautiful ombre type sheets of paper that are in the Serene Waters collection. I have taken off the sides of this and used them in other layouts, but I wanted to use the sunset in the center on a page where we could actually look at it and appreciate it and not necessarily cover it all up. Now, with that being said, I'm really not sure how much of it is going to get covered up, but some of it will, because as I've said before, the photos are more important to me than the paper, but I do want to try to incorporate this into this layout. This layout is going to essentially go from sundown into nightfall, because that's kind of the way that this evening went. It started at sundown, essentially, with the raising of the pig from the pit and the going in for the feast and proceeding through eating and enjoying the show. And by the time we left, it was very, very dark out, which was great, you know. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this piece over here on this far side of the layout. I have this piece right here, which is not a CM piece of paper, but it's beautiful and it really matches well the same colors that are in the Serene Waters papers. This piece of paper, I'm lucky I still have the little add-on here, is called Neptune's Wrath. It's from Reminisce, and it's acid-free, lignin-free, and photo-safe, but it's from the Under the Sea collection called Neptune's Wrath, designs by Reminisce.com. And so in case you want to get it, this is the other side, which is also really cool. I just haven't had an occasion to use it. But I do have some more of this paper, so we may see it in the remaining layouts for this album. But at any rate, this piece is going to go in the middle, and then I'm going to use this other piece, which is a tone-on-tone piece from the Serene Waters collection, that will go on the far side and kind of represent the progression from sundown through to evening. So with that being said, we need to cut a few things. So let me grab my trimmer. And I'm not going to cut this one at all because it's already been cut, but it is 7 inches wide, which means I need to cut this piece to reflect that same 7 inches, so that I can go ahead and have the same dimensions on each side of the layout. So I'm just trimming off that little bit at the top, and you can see that I just missed some of the white there. I'm not going to get it though unless I take a bigger chunk. All right, there. Okay, so I'm going to, knowing that this is 7 inches wide, and just so you can see, I'll go ahead and move my arm out on my trimmer, and we'll take a look at it on the trimmer so it's easier to notice. But you can see it's actually just a hair wider than 7 inches. Not much, just the tiniest little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this at 5 inches to make up the difference. 7 and 5 is 12. So we're going to have 5 inches of this on this side and the other 7 on this side, and then we'll need another 5 inches of this paper to make up the rest. And then this we'll use on another layout sometime. All right, so here we go, just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere those down. And if I were not going ahead and working right on my page like I'm going to do, what I would do is go ahead and put these two pages together by welding them on the back. You've seen me do that before. So if you're not working directly on a page, I recommend that you go ahead and weld these together. What you do is flip them over. You cut another 1-inch piece of cardstock. I usually use white because that's what I have the most of. I cut a 1-inch piece of cardstock. I put my papers together. I use my permanent adhesive and I make strips that go across the joint. And then I just take that 1-inch strip and lay it right down on top, press it down, and you are good to go with your full-sized 12 by 12 page. Again, I'm not doing that this time because I'm working straight onto my page. There's no reason to have to take that step in this particular instance, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to go ahead and put this page down directly on my natural CM scrapbook page. So this is going to go right to the outside and flush on the bottom. And normally I work from the middle out, so this is a little bit different from the way I would normally assemble a page, but it'll be okay. I'm trusting that it will be okay. So just shifting these photos over, we're going to go ahead and add this one on. And I'm not going to pay attention to the jeeping in the center. I'm just going to make sure that joint comes together. Thing is that my paper is a little bit askew, so it's going to leave, the Reminisce paper is a little bit short. It's not the full 12 inches, so I'm going to have a little bit of my page showing at the top and at the bottom. And I have a little bit of my joint open here at the bottom too, but don't you worry, I have a solution for that. So we're going to come back to that in just a second. So I'm going to go ahead and get this side put on. Those out of the way just a little. And because I'm starting with this one, I can go ahead and start at the jeeping and work my way out to the edge. It's interesting. Something is not quite square, which always kind of frustrates me a little bit. But that's okay. We will work with it. Okay, so those are going to go on there. I like that they pop off the page, but there's water behind them. I think it kind of calms down the orange and the red. So that was a good call, I think, for me. I like it anyway. Don't get me wrong, I really like red. Red is like my favorite color, but I think sometimes when you have more of it than you may know what to do with, it just becomes overwhelming. I'm going to see if I can slide this underneath all these pictures so that I don't have to rearrange them completely. There we go. Okay. All right, so you can see the red background photos that I've cut here will go up this dark channel, and I think that will really complement them well. Over here, let's see, we are going to need to make some adjustments. Those will go up there. This one is going to need to go below the sunset. And I think we're going to trim this one down and make it a little bit not so wide. And maybe we'll trim this one just a little too. I don't want to trim it too much though, because I want to be able to see that plate of food so that we have a reference kind of for what we ate during this fun adventure. And maybe what we'll do is just overlap this just a little. And we overlap that just a little and cut this down, we can get more of that sunset in, which will make me happy. All right, so we're going to just trim this a little bit closer. Let me see how wide we have this one. I think this one is a 4-inch wide photo, but let's just check. It is. It's 4 inches wide. So let me see if I can make this one 4 inches without cutting someone's arm off or making it look awkward. Oh wow, that just comes right to the edge of her hand. Nice. Okay, so we'll just sneak this one in right below. In fact, I could probably trim this down just a smidge, maybe a 1/2 inch. And that will allow me to move that up. I like that better. Okay. Now what I need to kind of determine is I'd like to also squeeze in a journal box somewhere to be able to write a little bit. What I may just do though is just use a silver pen or a white pen and write here on the water. Maybe that's just what we'll do, because I just don't really see a great option for sneaking in a journal box. Although, let's see, I have this one that I kind of set aside that maybe we could just sort of put underneath here to kind of draw some of this lighter coloring over to the right hand side of the layout. I may need to think about that. Okay, at any rate, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 12-inch sticker and I'm going to go up each of these seams. In the Serene Waters sticker pack are these 12-inch stickers right here. And I like them better than the bubbles from Vitamin C. I was thinking those might work, but I think instead what I'm going to use are these starfish. And there is only one in each package, but if you have 2 packages like I have, then you have 2 stickers of these starfish that you can use. So that is my goal, is to go ahead and take this off, because I took it off partially once before, thinking I might want to use it. That's why it's sticking funny. So this is going to go straight up that seam of paper where my papers are coming together. And I know in the middle of that blue it looks a little bit odd, but I think it will look really nice on this side, and I want it to look the same on both sides. So that's why we're going with orange instead of blue. Okay, so then these photos will come back over here this way. I think I will go ahead and matte this photo because it is a significant one of my husband and I. I don't think I really am going to worry about matting any of the others. Although these might look nice with a different strip underneath them. Although I like them with the dark blue on the back, but let me see. Let's see what we can do here. What have I got? I've got this yellow, but I'm thinking I don't really want that on the yellow. See, I like the way it comes off the blue better than the yellow. So what can we do? Because I'd like to kind of get a little bit more good for matte in yellow too. Matting in lighter colors is not it's not my favorite thing to do. I did that a few times in recent videos for our Disney album because they were colors that matched and that I had paper for I knew I could use. But if we use the blue, I like the blue better. If we use this blue under here, we would still get that effect of having the red pop off the color. I like that. Okay, so we've got a 5-inch piece here. We've got 3.5-inch photos. So if we did a 4-inch strip of this underneath underneath that, the sequence of photos over here. Let's do that. We'll do a 4-inch strip. So there's 1/4 of an inch on each side. And I made sure that my lines are kind of going horizontally. This is a directional piece where even though it's swirly, there is a directionality to it. So I didn't want to have it go vertical. Okay, let's see. I need a piece that is going to be 7.5, and that is 8 inches. So let's cut it this way first. So we need a 5.5 piece. 5.5. And we need a 7.5 because this photo is a 5x7. So we'll just do a 1/4 inch frame around the edge. And I think that will make me happy. Okay. So let's go ahead and, let's go ahead and mount this photo on here. A little bit wider frame than what I've been doing recently, so I have to kind of pay attention to what I'm doing a little bit closer and make sure I get that centered. All right, so that will go in here. It will cover up a little bit more of my sunset, but because I'm moving it over, I think it'll be okay. We're still getting the most of that in there. This page, we're going to go ahead and build our tower of Kahuku, or Huka, not Kahuku. I don't
don't know where I keep finding that term, kahuku. I've used it a couple times, and I honestly don't remember what it means. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, because these pictures are not all the same size, is I'm going to build it kind of a little from the top, a little from the bottom. So we're going to do one at a time and center it from right and left and try and put the same space between our photos. So there's our top and our bottom. And let's go ahead and lay these on here so we can get a sense of how much space we can put between them. I think we are pretty good with about 1/8 of an inch between, so that should be good. It's not a hookah. I called it a hookah. God, I'm sorry. It's been over a year since we were there, so please forgive me. But this is the haka dance. And the haka dance is usually, or was usually traditionally done as a kind of a call to war for all the warriors in a community. It has become a bit of a traditional, like family loyalty, family pride kind of a dance, from what I understand. And we have many Polynesians in our community here, many island families, and I don't know, I just sort of fell in love with this. It's kind of hard not to. It's so motivating and so fun to watch. They're all so unique, and the people who are participating have such fun, emotional responses and smiles on their face, and growls sometimes. Anyway, it's just, if you ever get a chance to watch one, it's very cool. I'm a Latter-day Saint, and we have many missionaries that come and go. And I've seen videos on YouTube of families who have greeted their missionary doing their haka dance at the airport, which I think is so cool. Anyways, just some fun things. Okay, so maybe what I'll do is just go ahead and overlap down here with this, and we can add a little bit of embellishing down here with the journal box. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Okay, so I need to put this down first, I think. You'll notice the crazy faces on the main dancer. He was growling and making all kinds of funny and fun noises. My best friend growing up used to dance Tahitian, so I have a fondness for Tahitian dance, which is what this is, where they just shake their hips so fast. It's amazing. And a little bit mesmerizing, to be honest. Of course, the skirts really help accentuate the movement, for sure. And then the more serene dance of the hula that the Hawaiian islands contribute. Really, really nice. Very
fluid and calm compared to many of the others. This is what the stage looked like that they were all performing on, and we had tables that kind of went out like this so that everybody had a good view, and then we were actually sitting kind of in the back on a raised platform so that we had just as good a view as everyone else, despite the fact that we were sitting a little bit further back, which was really nice. And like I mentioned, tomorrow we're going to be, or not tomorrow, but in the next layout video that's going to come out is going to be for the fire dancers, which were kind of the last act of the evening, and they were pretty fantastic. So I'm hoping that my layout will reflect the really cool nature of the show that they put on. Nothing quite as elaborate as what we saw at the Polynesian Cultural Center, mind you. Their show, their fire dancers were pretty amazing, and they had quite a few of them. But I'll tell you more about that tomorrow, or in a couple days, when that video comes out. All right, so we've got our photos mounted. Let's see what we're gonna do for embellishments. We've got a couple of palm trees left and some large palm leaves, which are fun. I've got a laser border here that I haven't used, but it's, we could turn it over and use kind of the brown side. Interesting. Notice I pretty much covered up this sticker. I maybe didn't even need to worry about putting that on there. So if you're going to lay your photos out like this, consider that you probably don't even need that second sticker pack, because this sticker barely shows at all. So something to think about. Let's see. We could do our palm trees kind of over here. And then do more of, do these leaves down here. And let's see if I can come up with some flowers that we could put. Give me a second here, sorry. I thought I had them handy, but it looks like they got piled on a little. So I do have a few of these flowers left. We could add a couple of them. And let's see. Mostly yellow, a couple of blue. There's a green starry one. I like putting the leaves like this. I think we need to, it needs some flowers to kind of I'm gonna add some adhesive to these because they're not staying where I'm putting them, and that's kind of frustrating. All right, so I think I want this to go this way and this to go this way. And then we'll add maybe just a couple of flowers here. The blue flowers are too big for that space. We could go with a couple of flowers there. And maybe that heart. To draw attention down there. I don't know, I feel like I need something up there, but I don't know exactly what. And I don't have a lot of these flowers left, so let's see. Could do a green one. Could do something like that. Let's see, maybe I have another leaf we could stick up there. I have all of these leaves, which we could do, but they are maybe more than what I want. I have some of these monstera leaves punched, which are, but they're not the same green. And green. Definitely not the same green in the pictures either. So I think that's not what I want. Let's see, what else do I have? I have this color green, which is kind of not really, well, it matches that dude's shirt. Not really what I want either. Okay. Gingham. More of that bright green. Here's a green, which we could use. It's nothing fancy, it's just solid green. Or I could punch some leaves out of this. That might be pretty. Kind of matches the dark green of the palm trees here. Let's do that. Let me find my monstera leaf punch, and we'll just punch some new ones. Alright, here we go. We'll just go ahead and punch a few of our own. See if I can see where the punch is landing. Okay, this punch is, where did it go? Did it fall out? Oh yeah, here it is. Duh. This punch is one of the embossing punches, so it's going to it's going to not only just punch out the leaf, but it's going to impress the leaf. So that's kind of cool. And using this paper with it is cool too. Let me just do a couple more that maybe we can use in other places to add a little more coolness to our design. Come on. There we go. All right, so let's see here. Let me just clear off some of the unwanted confetti. Get that put over there. We can add a couple of these monstera leaves over here with our flowers and our palm trees. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to pop these flowers up with foam squares. And then that will allow us to go ahead and put our palm trees in behind them. And our leaves as well. So we're going to go ahead and put our flowers like so. The palm trees are going to have a foam square on the large part of the palm, and then just some repositionable adhesive a little bit lower on the trunk to hold that in place. We're going to stick these a little bit higher so that they look a little bit more like an oasis in the ocean, right? Along with that sunset. We're going to pop up the heart. But I'm not going to pop up these leaves. I'm just going to place these leaves underneath. So we're going to kind of layer them just a little bit like that. And then, oh, look it, I have two of those flowers. Ta-da! Sometimes those stick together. Probably the way that they are manufactured and cut, they stick, and I should have checked that. All right, so I'm just going to stick those leaves kind of underneath there to balance out that green just a little bit. And then I'm going to add this little gold heart like so. Okay, now let's do these over here. I've already got those down, so let's go ahead and add some foam squares to these guys. Loving these new foam squares that are all different sizes. Makes it a little bit easier to add in what I want to add in. I don't know if we need an extra leaf on this one or not, but let me just kind of put that there just to think about it for a minute. Might add that, I'm not sure. And this one up here, we're going to, I don't really like the foiled green of that, so since I have this extra yellow flower, let me see if these will fit without distracting too much from the photos. I could make those fit right in there. Or we could move this one down just a little and do this one a little more kind of up. Maybe that would be better. Okay. All right, so let's get foam square put on here. And a little bit smaller one for this guy. And we'll kind of layer those just a little. Make them stay on the, not go off the page, which is a concern sometimes. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll do the same thing we did on that other one. We'll do some repositionable adhesive on our leaves and just sneak those up underneath. Same thing up over here. Just gonna sneak that one in at the top. And then we still have this little heart one, which we could add. I just put a foam square on the back of that one. And we'll stick that kind of right there. Let's take a look and see how we did. All right. What do you think? I like it though. I do think I didn't need to add that extra sticker in there because it mostly got covered up. But I am glad that I added this additional strip over here, and we got that same color blue on this side in many different places, so I like that. I think it helps balance the color better, and these photos don't look as orangey as they did when we started. Would you agree? Let me know what you think in the comments, and as always, please make sure you're subscribed and like and share the video so that other people will see it. I appreciate your taking the time to watch, and hope that this has helped give you some other ideas for using in your own scrapbooks. And until next time, I hope you have many more creative moments. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a great day.